On day 14 of Daily December Art Candy, I'd love to share some painting tools for you to try. All these that you see are from my 100 Days of Painting Tools, a series that I did during COVID to keep myself sane. And here are the highlights, some of my favorite tools from that time. I especially love painting knives, and here are a few that I would recommend if you're interested in trying painting with a painting knife. This is what I nicknamed the kitten paw. It's a small rounded painting knife, and it's great for painting flower petals, as you can see. I went through a whole series of making these cute little dahlias. Then there's a pointed tip where you can actually carve into thick paint and create interesting textures. This is also a great knife for actually mixing paint and using as a palette knife. I love this flat rectangle shaped painting knife. I love being able to use the corner and the flat edge. I get a lot of variety out of this knife. Scraping into paint so that you can see what's underneath is called sgraffito. I love this. Then we have this cool ridge making painting knife. I had a lot of fun messing around with this one, and when I posted this process on Instagram, some people were saying, wow, it looks like you're painting with Ruffles potato chips. Those ridges are so satisfying to look at. And then I thought, what would happen if I actually painted with a Ruffles potato chip? And I went ahead and I did that. So that's what, yeah, they look pretty similar, but the annoying thing is that the chips do tend to break because they are food. I really enjoy this angled palette knife as well. I can get some very interesting effects from it because the angle makes the process just a little bit less predictable. And here I am working with regular heavy body paint that's been mixed with a little bit of fluid paint to give it just the right viscosity. Now let's talk about some fabulous brushes. First of all, do you have a detail brush or 7? I really appreciate detail brushes when I need them. Right here I am trying to emulate the artist Georgiana Houghton, and I also use the detail brush for signing my name and just, getting those little bits. Escoda brushes are it's the first brush company in Spain. And look at that tip. I really have never taken full advantage of my Escoda brush. It's so cool. Fan brushes are great for grasses and pine trees and that kind of thing. And in this case, painting a song. You never know when you're going to need a giant brush, and Liquitex makes this really cool one called Freestyle. And every once in a while I need it, and I just love using it. Another exciting way to apply paint is with a brayer, usually used in printmaking, but also painting. Rubber combs are great for pulling away liquid paint or getting textures. And rubber shapers are extremely cool also for scraping away wet paint. Now, one day I had a piece of Yupo paper, which is synthetic paper that's very smooth. And this was, it was during COVID, and I just did this for a really long time, and I found it so incredibly meditative. And, I was kind of wondering if it was ever going to end. I just was so mesmerized watching myself do this. Squeeze bottles. Okay, so there was a period of time when paint pouring, that was kind of a trend. And I really wanted to see what I could do with super liquid paint. And so I used squeeze bottles quite a bit. And I didn't do the paint pouring sort of in the like this, I don't know if you know about the cells or whatever. That wasn't kind of what I was trying to do. I was just really interested in the phenomenon of using low viscosity paint and gravity, and it was really more about the experience. If you've ever done poured painting, then you know what I'm talking about. It's oftentimes you might get interesting effects, but in the end, it's really about the experience of doing it that is the best part. This painting turned out to be not particularly interesting, but I sure did love the process, and it was really great to have those squeeze bottles. I don't really do this anymore, but sometimes I think it would be fun to do if I'm just looking for a meditative activity. Really, speaking of meditative activity, just having leftover paint dripping is interesting. A fun technique to try if you're into that sort of phenomenon vibes of a painting is if you let one layer dry and then you squeeze bottle some liquid fluid paint on top of it and then brush it on, then you can use a spray bottle to then pull back some of the paint and reveal a very interesting texture. A can of compressed air is actually really fun to make these organic branch-like shapes. And again, this is also a meditative process as well. I did this with acrylic ink. Airbrushes are incredible to use, although they do require a level of patience and detail-oriented cleaning and maintaining equipment. You also need access to a well-ventilated area, but worth it. Finally, if you like bingo daubers, check out this cute little sponge dauber. It's so fun to apply paint with it. Just look, it's just adorable. There are dozens more I could talk about, but hopefully you got a few ideas from these. What do you think? Any of them you'd like to try? Do you have any other ideas of favorite ones that you like to experiment with? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.